I'm going to do a quick sacrum adjustment. So many people have low back pain. Sacroiliac joint is the main cause of that low back pain. Just to refresh your memory, the sacrum is that triangle bone at the base of the spine. So it supports the lumbar above, Chester, and it also connects, it's part of the spine, but it also connects the right ilium and the left ilium, the hip bones. So the sacroiliac joint is the place that glides right between the side of the sacrum and the side of the pelvis. They move independently of each other. And I think statistically, for sacroiliac pain, the right side is usually rotated forward. I mean, most people are right-handed. You can see how that would correlate. Sitting, we're stuck in this posterior tilt, or we cross our legs habitually on one side, can put a lot of weight and stress on only one side of the pelvis, right? So you can see how over time that can just degrade, like most things. Like anything organic, it's going to degrade over time. The job of the yoga practice is to be informed so you can reform what deforms over time, and then you're formidable. So a quick little PT reset, but you can parlay this to a yoga practice, right? Which is what we're always doing for yoga therapy too. So come to constructive rest. If the right side is the side where the pain is, you're going to do this on that side first. You do it on both sides, but all you're going to do is draw this right knee up. You're going to take your hands around and you're going to press the knee into the hands. So if my hands weren't there, my foot would come back to the ground, right? And what I'm doing is I'm activating the muscles of hip extension, and I can feel this whole posterior line of the pelvis being activated. So we're working with the energy channels and the muscles. So you're going to do that for 5 seconds, and then you're going to release. And then you're going to do that for 5 seconds. And you're going to release. And do it for 5 seconds. And release. Try the second side. That should feel immediately better, by the way. You can do the other side. This is actually, even if you don't have any sacroiliac pain or discomfort, you can do this. It turns on the back line of the body. And release. That was a little more than 5 seconds. Just press, press. And release. And one more time. And release. Now, again, you can do this with your head off the floor, right? It gives a little bit more leverage, actually, as long as you don't feel this in your neck, right? You don't want people to overuse their neck. You're going to have this other leg straight also. All right. And then after that, you want to come to neutral, back to constructive rest, and you want to turn on the inner line of the legs. And that's where you might feel. So I'm going to use my hands and give resistance out as I hug in. And that's where you might feel the clicking or the resetting that happens. Now in the yoga world, again, we have blocks. You can just take a block between the legs and hug your legs in. When you hug the legs in, I feel a widening through the sacral plate here. You can think of the sacrum as like the circuit breaker, right? It's the pump for the cerebral spinal fluid. And so if that's off, everything else is off above. And so I do, again, you hold for 5 seconds and then release the squeeze and then hold for 5 seconds. This is also wonderful for the adductors and the core. And so really, we're just activating the muscles all the way around to bring some relief to the patterning that you're going through all the time. Like what you overuse is what eventually breaks down, right? If you overuse one leg, if you're crossing your legs, if you're standing with your weight on one leg only, well, that sacroiliac joint is going to have a lot more wear and tear, all right? It eventually might bring one side of the pelvis forward. And so just by turning on the muscles all the way in the back side and the inside and the front side, that sacrum is going to say like, Thanks. Thanks for playing. Thank you for playing. Try that. It should bring you, your pain should go down right away. If it doesn't, the sacroiliac might not be what the issue is, or you may need to, it might be the other side that is rotated forward. You want to work on that. And then think about it, how it parlays to your yoga practice, right? You might need to always think about that back line and engaging the glutes, because strengthening the glutes, those are huge muscles on either side, right? Your bum on either side of the sacrum. You might need more strengthening around that to find more stability.